far south, we don't know. But what we do know is that it took place in a winterized forest. And
Oh,
the moon turned into a celestial, which was the human form, wearing white robes, a white hood to cover his face, and wielding a staff that had a crescent moon on it.
nice.
And then, hold on. And then what happened was is that he placed his staff, plunged it into the pond, into the big lake, and turning it into ice. But this ice was so unique that it glowed.
Ooh.
And then he heard a voice behind him. Who are you? He turned around and he saw a ram, a doe, a hare, a bear, a eagle, and a wolf, and all the animals of the forest. Well, almost all. And he asked, "What are you doing to our lake? What have you done to our lake?" And the celestial said, "You know me. I am the
Oh.
moon, and I am here to ask
Sorry.
for..."
It's okay.
Looks like we got a new guest. Hello.
Oh, no.
You like my pillow fort?
There's no. Ow.
I'm telling a story if you want
you
to
okay?
listen.
Are you okay? Yeah,
Okay.
sure. Be careful.
He said, "You know me. I am the moon, and I am here to ask if you would help me light up the night sky."
He's telling a story. Do you want to
And the
listen to it?
bear, which represent wisdom in some cultures, asked with caution, asked, "Why would we want that?" Using his staff, he created magical constructs and showed why. "I am not as strong as the sun. I wax, I wane, and you are cast into darkness. But if you help me conquer the nocturnal, then your story will be told for generations," showing celestials of people surrounded by a campfire, all the way up to the person who invented the very first telescope. As the animals debated on what was going to happen, a small bluish green light went deep into the forest, where a little fox was playing with the fireflies. The same fireflies as you see flying around this room today. Now,
Oh.
as he saw the small bluish green light, he tried to catch it, but it was guiding him where he knew not. But he knew that where the fox knew not, but the fox knew that it had to follow. It tried to jump over a log. The fox walked around it. Then the fox was in shock because it saw a wolf. And wolves are normally natural enemies to foxes. But this wolf didn't mind, so he allowed the fox to pass. And as the fox got closer to the other animals, they were agreeing to something. And the ram asked, "Well, how can we help? Come forward and you will see." And the ram walked closer onto the lake, which was, even though it was frozen, it felt like water. And it was so beautiful that you couldn't even slip on it. The ram got closer and closer until the entire lake transformed, showing all the constellations. And then, as he pressed his hooves against one of them, the ram's fur turned black, and his horns and hooves turned to gold. Then he flew across the night sky and became the very first constellation. After the animals saw how they were going to do it, they all joined in. After the ram came the bear and the eagle, then the wolf, a heron, two catfish, a bobcat, a doe, a hare, and the sky became so filled with stars that it looked to be endless. And as the fox looked on in amazement, the fox wanted to be up there, to be a star. But as he made it to the lake and the fox pressed its paw on it, the fox didn't become a constellation, not even a star. So he tried every single one of them. The fox tried every single one of them and even pounced on one, but it was no use. The fox did not become a constellation, and giving up, the fox sat down. The celestial moon saw what was happening and decided to comfort the little fox and asked, "Why are you so sad, little fox?" And the fox looked up and said, "I tried so hard, but I just can't become a star like everyone else. I just want to help light up the night sky." And then the moon said, "Well, whoever said you can only become a star?" Then the small bluish-green light appeared again, and this time the fox followed it until he made it to the lake's heart, and pressed his paw against it, and his fur became as white as the snow, and the fox's tail looked like it was on fire, and he flew across the night sky, showing the light like it was waves of a river in the sky. And this was how, to this very day, the stars, the northern and southern lights, were made. The aurora borealis was also called by another name, and that name was fox fires. The end.
Yay, good one.
I like that story.
I'm glad you guys enjoyed it.